Hi, I'm Ryan LaPlante, and I'm one of the crazy founders of Dumb Dumbs and Dice, the podcast production company that's making the podcast you're listening to right now. Now, we're clearly busy. We're producing 5 weekly podcasts and a 6th event podcast, but we want to take this time to invite you to become a part of our company and a part of our Patreon at patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. You can get access to our Discord, access to exclusive DM and character chats. You can get the chance to name characters in our shows and vote on the way their stories will progress. You can even become a recurring NPC and hear yourself interacting with our characters each week through the voice of Tom. You can become a patron for as little as $1, and there's great value for you at even that level. So please, join the Dumb Dumbs and Dice family and help us make even more content in a way that you are guaranteed to love. That's patreon.com/dumbdumbdice. DUMBDICE. So let's do something dumb together, and thanks for listening.
I am Executron, god of merchandising, and I came into existence because Dumb Dumbs and Dice has its own merchandise. That's a god pun. Get it? Dice? Merchandise? Anyways, you can get t-shirts, hoodies, spiral notebooks, clocks, wall art, throw pillows, bags, and even stickers emblazoned with your favorite Dumb Dumbs and Dice characters and their catchphrases. There are plenty of different designs available, so there is guaranteed to be something you love. To show your love of Dumb Dumbs and Dice, go to redbubble.com/people/dumbdumbdice. That's DUMBDICE. One more time for the mortals in the back, redbubble.com/people/dumbdumbdice. Get your merchandise today. All art supplied by the brilliant Decapitated Markers.
Welcome back to Dumb, Scum, and Villainy, a Dumb Dumbs and Dice podcast where professional voiceover artists and improvisers explore the underworld of this Star Wars Edge of the Empire role-playing game. I'm your host, Blotto the Toydarian. This series features our Game Master Tom McGee, Ryan LaPlante as Abraxes Brash Korr, Tyler Hewitt as Vic Denbar, and Adam McNamara as the forgetful psychopath Wakka Wakka Fonzie. Our heroes have liberated a gang of slicers from the Black Sun. Vic made a name for himself as Renegade. Brash learned to harness the power of his teammates. And Wakka Wakka Fonzie remembered how he got his helmet. There, you're caught up. So get out of my shop or spend money. No credits, only money.
In the cold void of space, there are many different types of people, many different kinds of mysteries. There are Jedi, there are Sith, there are heroes, there are villains. And on this particular day, there's a droid. This droid is floating gradually against the darkness of space, its robotic eyes glittering as it tracks what it hopes will be its salvation. And sure enough, that last-ditch effort shows up, and with a surprising crack, Brash, you see a robot crash against your view screen and start screaming.
Yeah, I can only see it screaming. It's just,
yes.
Is it like the Star Wars thing where like the eyes light up when it's talking, so I can only see that?
You're looking at a C-3PO-esque guy. Speaking of guys, Guy, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Tell us what you look like.
Okay, so you know C-3PO?
Sure.
I'm like him, but I'm active camo all over. So I'm like if you go up north and you know, people are hunting deer or elk. You know, I'm fitted out just like that.
For what environment is the camouflage?
You know, space.
Oh, so it's like black and gray.
It's like if you're
It's got stars painted on it.
Yeah.
No, it's woodland camo.
Oh, okay.
But,
Yeah, it's real lucky you're not on Endor because then you wouldn't have seen him.
It's for space woods.
yeah, and instead of like the yellow, I have kind of like an amber. So
your
it's
eyes.
almost like it's pretty much close to yellow, but it's
So you got like a little bit of spooky eyes, and then I'm looking at a forest shaped like a droid. Okay.
So he starts tapping on the glass. Brash, you've pulled out of the asteroid field and are just a ways away. You hadn't made the jump to hyperspace yet when this droid smashed against your windshield. Who else is in the cockpit, do you think? Would Vic be there? I assume Wakka's like hanging out in his broom closet or in
I
one
want
of
to
the
look into
gun
my
booths.
bike.
Okay.
So I'm around my bike because that's not fixed yet. So I want my bike to get fixed.
All right, so Shatterstar is patiently explaining that she doesn't have all the material she needs. She says a golf cart would have really helped, or maybe a grok droid.
Oh.
Vic, where do you think you are?
I'm in my room, regaling Dibs with tales of my heroic prowess, greatly embellishing them.
I took that as you saying anything. I assumed would be greatly embellished. Okay, good. Okay, so I think maybe we'll say then, Ryan, it's Brash and Sterling hanging out in the cockpit. And he's like, hey, you got a droid on your windshield there, bud.
Yeah, just a second. And I want to reach down and I want to see if I can flip through the comms channels if I can pick up the droid.
Go ahead and roll me a mechanics check, please.
What do I... Okay, mechanics. So, mechanics. Okay, mechanics uses intelligence, so I just have intelligence.
Great. So, grab your one green. We'll just make this a one purple check.
Okay.
And for those of you listening at home, this is Guy's first time playing Edge of the Empire, so I'm going to be re-explaining the rules as we go. So this is a perfect check to start that off. So, Guy, the way difficulty works in this game, unlike, say, Dungeons & Dragons, where you're trying to beat a specific number, is there are bad dice and good dice. And based on the difficulty of the check, we'll add more and more bad dice. And if things are really dire, those bad dice might get upgraded to, like, super bad dice. But if you've got lots of skills, your good dice can be upgraded to super good dice. And then there are also these little blue guys and these little black guys that get added as... if you're trying to, let's say, unscrew a bolt and you have a wrench, then you get a blue guy. If you're doing it in the rain, you might get a black dice that'll make it a little bit more difficult. So I'll call all the dice, so you don't need to worry about anything other than rolling them.
Because I'm looking in your eyes like I'm understanding, but I am not understanding.
I actually gathered that from the look in your eyes. But yes, so we'll cover that more as we go. But in this case, Ryan doesn't have any skills in this.
So I had 2 intellect. So I get 2 green dice just because I'm smart, but I do not know anything about mechanics.
Yeah, great. But also it's not that hard because you're looking for a droid.
Yeah.
And I'll give you 1 blue from the droid presumably trying to contact you.
That makes sense.
As opposed to just sitting there being like, help me.
Okay, that is 1 success.
1 success. All right, good enough. So you start going through the channels, and like you get like a classic rock station, and you get like a country western station. You get one that's just Cantina jams. You get the sense this might be Wakka's like bike station that he's always on.
Yeah.
And then finally, you get the droid. So, Guy, you are staring through the plexiglass. Good news is like you don't need to breathe, so this isn't as dire, just dire because your jetpack's out of fuel. So this is helpful to you. But suddenly you hear kind of a hiss, and then you realize you're connected to the Falleen on the other side. Falleen are kind of green, very, very handsome Prince Shizor looking motherfuckers. So yes, he's
Picture like a Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, but male, looking like Cristiano Ronaldo with like a very high top knot. Like a vest with no sleeves. Like he's just leaning back like a pirate king and somehow leans perfectly into the light to just look amazing. And he's just like, hello. So, what are you doing out in the cold?
Big Green, can you roll down the window and let me in? I fucking turfed my jetpack out here, and I'm freezing my nips out. And if you could let me in, you'd be doing me a real solid there, fella.
What are you doing out in space? Because we were here, I'm going to say on a need-to-know basis, but the hacker's Black Sun complicated.
Oh,
guess he needs to know.
damnedest thing. You know, I was just jetting around as you do when you're bored and tripping. I've been doing a lot of weird gasolines, you know, just going on a spiritual journey, mixing some crystals in there, and what I don't know, I got all mixed up, and I got knocked around a bunch by like some asteroids, and here I am. Whoop. Let me in.
Sterling, who is a Zabrax, so think like Darth Maul if he didn't have face tattoos. leans over. He's an NPC. Just me, leans over and he's like, I definitely heard there were a bunch of ships that these guys shot down. So he may have just fallen off one of those. I don't know. I mean, come on. Who hasn't been tripping on space gasoline? Am I right?
Yeah, I just like cover up the microphone and I'm like, I don't really know if we need to pick up a droid drug addict for this ride. We do have a collection of important hackers here with us.
Yeah, they're all doing good. Listen, man, I don't know if you've seen your team, but this guy seems like the least strange person you've got on the ship.
I don't know. Shatterstar seems all right. I'm like, all right.
We smash cut
okay.
back to Shatterstar, like looking at the bike, being like, I mean, I guess if I paint it red, it'll go faster. You sure you want more flames on it, Wakka?
Yeah, but can I get rainbow flames? Because I want to trick them with positivity, and then at the last second, death will come for them.
She looks at her meticulously hand-painted flames, sighs, and goes, yeah, all right. Smash cut back to the cockpit.
Hey, so I just to let you know, I'm not holding anymore. It was, a rare thing, only like once or twice a month. But seriously, let me in. The vacuum of space is kind of jambling my circuit doodads.
And then I just like pull forward and pull like a side thing to put him in the airlock.
Sure. So, Guy, the airlock, you kind of like pull your way across, which is really funny because C-3PO's arms are so shitty that I feel like it's just you kind of awkward, like tapping your way along. You get to an airlock that opens up with a hiss. You kind of drag yourself inside. And it does the usual cycling thing. It depressurizes. All of this is completely useless for you because, robots. And then finally you find yourself inside the ship.
Yeah. While this is happening, I guess I'll call to the rest of the crew and be like, everyone, let's all meet in Vic's room because we've got a new drug-addicted robot I've discovered.
Great. I'll unlock the door and tell Dibs to start making drinks.
So Dibs just starts lining up drinks, but is clearly like looking at Vic like, these are just for you, right?
No, these are for everyone.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shake. And he starts shaking drinks.
Actually, no, I will have these. Make everyone else's to order because I like these. And I just start drinking.
Yeah, he looks back at the bar. It's clearly only stocked with things for Dagobah on slides. Great. So he starts shaking those. So inside, oh man, we've got so many fucking NPCs now. So you've got Sterling, you've got the hackers, who I'm going to say are hanging out in like the cargo bay. They've kind of like set up shop there.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily call them in to
They
beat
also
the new
all
droid.
have a lot of names that we haven't heard yet. So they're just chilling. Ryan, what's the name of your
Nix.
buddy? Nix is he's like awake, but still his vocal cords are still pretty fried. So he can't talk, but he's like sort of sitting up in like a rolling stretcher. And then Shatterstar is, I think, still painting, so she won't be here.
Oh, I want to. So is my bike just not moving at all?
Like, it's half repaired, but she's missing some key parts.
Okay. Can I ask her what parts she needs?
Yeah, she gives you like a list of, let's say, 3 parts.
Okay. Can I find those parts on the ship?
There we go. That's what I thought was going to
She's like,
happen.
well, I mean, yeah, but they're attached to the engine.
Okay.
This is just a point I have to make at this point, which is I did gene code the engine bay so he can't get in it. That and the armory are out of his limits.
Okay, hear me out. You know what else is kind of like a ship? A robot. Do robots have different engine parts that I could use?
You're clearly running behind. I just want to point out I've got a new drug-addicted robot. Seems really up your alley if you wanted to join us at Vic's room.
Is my mic on? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, God. Okay, sorry.
Yeah, I'm just sending it through the whole... I started out sending to people's mics, and now I'm just using the ship's speakers because I don't know where you are.
Okay. I mute the microphone. I'm just like... Will any of the droids we have be able... Can I use them to fix the bike?
She's like, I mean, a Gronk droid would have been perfect, but we don't have one of those, right?
No.
Okay, well, maybe we can pick one up wherever we stop next.
Would a bartending droid do?
No, unfortunately. I've already tried. We smash cut back to Dibs, a.k.a. Shake, whose, like, arms are on upside down. So he's, like, still good at shaking drinks. He's just bad at putting them down. Like, I don't understand why my arms do not work the way they used to. What a weird day. Wednesdays. So yeah, you'll have to steal them from somewhere else or dismantle the engine of your or someone else's ship.
Okay. The droids won't help.
No.
Okay. All right.
I just imagine your quest log opening being like, find parts at all costs.
Yeah. I wrote it down. Yeah. Okay.
It was like, well, Guy, you're going to have a great episode.
You're about to be cannibalized.
Adam disassembles you for parts.
Hey, don't do that, fella.
He comes back as an Ewok and he's like, I disassemble him for parts.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, so you are all in the sort of weird kitchen lounge bar area, and the droid walks in with, assume Sterling kind of like over his shoulder with a gun.
Yes, correct.
Just casually at his hip, but like around. So, Guy, you are you kind of step into a large converted space that was clearly a mess hall at some point, but is now kind of a like. Well, I mean, Tyler, it's your room. You want to explain what it looks like now? You've had a bit of time to like fuck with it.
Yeah, just for Guy to know, essentially, Vic took the biggest room on the ship, which was the mess hall, and just declared it his bedroom because it was so big.
Yeah. I am used to a certain level of comfort.
That's a power move right there, and I respect that,
Thank
brother.
you. Yes. So what this
Very
place
good.
looks like is there are like two large tables, so everyone would basically eat like communal style, and I was going to say like some lavish fabrics have been thrown over, but like where the hell would we get that? That's on the list. That's on
That's your quest
that's
list.
on Vic's to dos.
Yeah, you've managed to slice up the like 3 janitors' uniforms we found, and that's all we've been able to use for
I
throws.
spoke to Shatterstar and I was like, so, like, I could take, like, where can I get cashmere? Like, what do I need to break apart to receive cashmere parts?
It's like, well, if you had a Gronk droid.
Ah, nuts. So no, I would say it basically still looks like a mess hall, except the bar at the end of the room has been over time gradually restocked with whatever. I probably would have like snagged that like bottle of scotch or whatever that we found in that office. So that's like there now with a decanter and stuff like that. And so just the alcohol supply is slowly replenishing and growing more diverse.
You flesh sacks sure like hawking back some drinks, huh?
I'll lift a glass to that and
Oh,
drink.
And Vic, do you want to explain what you look like to our new companion?
Yeah, so Vic right now is wearing a silk turtleneck, a white silk turtleneck that he's now ripped down into like a V, so it looks like very like sexy adventuring gear. He's wearing a denim vest over that.
According to him.
Yeah. I mean, he makes it look good according to him. He's got a denim vest on over that, which was like his like brooding like bad guy phase that he just picked up, aka Renegade, who we will probably see the last of. Like, I don't know how much longer he's going to stick around. And like dress pants, because he didn't have time to change out of his dress pants.
Wait, how many vests?
Just the one.
Just one vest.
Vest over a ripped turtleneck.
Yeah.
Copy.
Silk
Oh,
turtleneck.
wow.
And Vic is a human.
Yes, that's probably a key feature that you should know about. Vic Denbar is a human man.
Vic Dunbar?
Denbar. People say Dunbar, and I have not corrected them, but it is Vic Denbar.
Interesting fact, in all of the promotional material, though, it is spelt Dunbar.
You got to be more assertive.
I'm just lazy with my character. I got a lot of characters to look after
wow.
with these franchises.
Oh, you have a lot of characters to look after?
How many of your guys' names are we spelling? We kill them in the episodes they show up in.
That's true.
So that's
This is Dibs 2.
this is
Shake.
This is Vic, and then this is Dibs, and I point to a droid that's making drinks. I'm like, this is Nick's, injured but still faithful in the line of duty.
He
Nick's
like
looks
kind of waves sadly with like an injured hand.
It's like an incredibly injured Matt Damon, essentially. And I'm like, and this is
The doors open and Wakka enters.
I'm dragging my bike with me, and I sit down, and I'm like, all right, who are you here to meet?
Hey everybody, Tom McGee here, your friendly neighborhood DM, and I just wanted to thank you so much for listening to our shows. I hope you're having a great time. Obviously we are. I'm probably really stressed because they're probably doing something horrible to me right now, but I hope you're enjoying it, and we're enjoying you being here. And listen, if you want to get a little bit more involved in our show and with the various things we do, you can check out
Patreon.com/dumdumdice.
where you can find more information about how you can become a part of the show, how you can screw with me on air, how you can add names, and all that sort of stuff. And it's a great way to support us in our ongoing dumb adventures. So thanks very much for joining us, and I will see you out there in the Dumbverse.
Oh, wow. Hey there.
Who said that?
Oh, hey.
The camouflage is working.
Yeah, you can't see me. You can only see two little autumn moons poking
What?
out to the darkness.
What is happening? Is this a trap? And I pull my fork gun.
Easy, fella. My hands, I
Show
can't...
yourself. Show yourself.
I'm here. Somebody flash some lights on
Show
me.
yourself.
Shatterstar, who's a Twi'lek mechanic, so like got the long head tails. She just kind of like sighs and mutters to you, honestly, this happens to me too, and I'm not even wearing camouflage.
Who said that?
So she flashes a light on you and just does like an awkward like flashlight up and down you a bunch of times, like side to side.
Ooh, hello, hi.
Hey, wow, look at that. So you got a bike there, do you? Uh-huh. Oh, do you like riding bikes?
Yeah.
You have fun on bikes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet you do, pal. Well, hey, I'm a protocol droid, but you know what my protocol is there?
What?
Being awesome at everything. How about I help you fix that bike sometime soon?
Do you have engine parts in you that I can use to fix my bike?
No, I don't, but you know what? I'm very handy, and I think maybe someday I could come across something.
So, Guy, you are actually an outlaw technician, which means you have exactly this skill set.
You know what?
So we're gonna do a dice roll, your very first dice roll. So be prepared. So here's the thing: the way this works is you have numbers along the top of your sheet there that represent your various kind of innate skills. Or attributes rather, and then you've got a bunch of skills. So we're gonna make this a mechanics check. Okay. So the good news is you're a really good inventor. So you have a utility belt that lets you just pull random items that you might need. But more importantly, you have 3 in mechanics. So if you look on your sheet there, you have a skill that says mechanics, which I believe is intelligence. So you've got 3 ranks in mechanics, and you have 4 in intelligence.
He's very good at this.
You're very good at this. So basically what that means is we start by making a pool of just the regular good dice, which are green. So the biggest number you've got is 4. So you got 4 green dice, but because you have 3 in intelligence, you can turn 3 of those green dice into even better yellow dice. So drop 3 of your green and grab 3 yellow. Because you're good at being a mechanic and you've got your utility belt, you get to get 1 blue, which is a boost dice that'll generally just help you. But now I get to add the difficulty dice to oppose you. So as we've established, Adam's bike is real fucked up. So take 3 purple, please. Also, you've been floating through the void of space, possibly tripping on gasoline, so add a black dice, please, as well. And I'm going to spend a point of destiny to make this even harder. So one of those purple dice turns into a red dice.
Say, Tom, I would like to spend a destiny point to counter yours because the guy is fated to not be murdered by Adam this episode.
Okay, so Ryan's going to spend a dice to reduce that check back down. So turn that red back into a purple, and then go ahead and roll. Strictly speaking, not supposed to happen, but I do like the logic.
It's like doing so much math.
I know, without any numbers, just weird symbols from a proprietary system.
Okay, so tell me what I got, champ.
Tyler, can you help with the math for this one?
So have a look at this sheet while I figure this out for you.
fuck.
So he's done really well here. So we've got 3
Sweet,
successes
yes.
versus 1 failure. So a net 2 successes, and then he's got 1, 2, 3.
2 failure with the black die.
Oh, sorry, you're right. So net 2 successes anyway because I missed this one, and then 3 threat. 3 successes and 3 threat.
Okay, cool. So you do a great job fixing this fucking bike. And Shatterstar is just kind of glowering at you as you do this because like she's been working on this for most of the series.
He's just fixing it right now?
He's just going to town. And because he's a droid, he's like popping tools out of his arm. He's got a great song. So
Clapping.
basically, I'm going to say that, Guy, using your outlaw tech abilities, you're able to rebuild the famed motorcycle of Wakka Wakka Fonzie. And because you got so many successes, what's one cool flourish you're going to add to this bike? And actually, Adam, maybe explain the bike so that Guy can figure out what he wants to add to it.
So I guess Shatterstar kind of did a lot of my additions to it. So there's a fork gun sticking out of the front of the bike. There's a lot of flames on the side. There's an engine that makes like think of like the Batmobile.
Yeah.
So like that flame that comes out, but like 5 of them. So there's a lot of fire that comes out. and it plays the Cantina song whenever I drive it.
You know, this is a very badass piece of vehicle you got here. I think there's only one thing we can add to this, one little decal.
What?
It's the apocalypse symbol.
What is the apocalypse symbol?
Well, it's basically just the anarchy symbol, but I like calling it the apocalypse. So it's like a huge, yeah, but it's like the A it's like multiple slashes to make the A, you know, and it juts out and it's in this really ugly circle, right? And it just like that anarchy can't be contained within that tiny circle. That's like you living in the universe.
So are you saying this is like a giant 3D like Mercedes thing on the front of the bike, or is it painted on it?
No, I'm going to carve it with my little Bowie knife.
Like pops out of your wrist and swings
I'm
around
just
into your
gonna
hand.
carve it. It's like
Nice.
Yeah, and this will show a bond, a deep bond between the two of us.
It's not quite done yet. And I take one of the knives off of my suit.
How many do you have left?
Got a knife
I
tally.
have.
If
Hold
you
on.
started keeping track, I'm riding this all the way to the bottom.
I have 11 knives, 1 vibro knife, and 2 super knives
Okay.
in my spring-loaded
Okay.
wrist
So
gauntlets.
which knife are you using?
Will this waste a knife?
Yes, you will lose a knife. Wait, are you carving or are you going to add the knife to the bike?
I'm going to slit my arm and then use
What's the what?
and then
So metal.
and so I like it's like it's not done yet, and I like and I kind of like cut my forearm and the blood comes out, and then from there I write the righteous indignation 2, and then on the other side like and I can do this and then.
And then you fucking pass out.
So I'm bleeding a lot, but like,
Use a pen, Sideshow Bob.
That's a great snake.
but then, and I'll do this while you guys are having your meeting. But then on the other,
I'll do this while you guys talk about important shit.
on the other side, I'll start drawing like the people on the ship and like little caricatures of them with my blood.
That's nice.
Yeah.
So the bike is back operational. That's dope. The one catch, guy, is by rolling threat, it means that even though you accomplish it, there's a negative consequence.
Oh shit.
That negative consequence is so there's 2 because you rolled 3 threats. So I'm just gonna round it down, I guess. Shatterstar is hella jealous and is now kind of viewing you as a rival mechanic on the ship because so far she's been the cool mechanic.
Well, she should be fucking scared then.
She is and mad. And the other one is Wakka. There's something really familiar about the way he carved that A. And you can't quite put your finger on it, but it's just something triggers in your memory. Like you think you've seen something like this before,
That apocalypse sounds pretty familiar to my eyes.
and then you go
Or
back to
anarchy, you know, but let's stick with apocalypse.
No.
I like apocalypses.
You call it apocalypse.
I did the first time round.
Right.
I did. I did, yeah.
and then you go back to painting. So, Guy, what's your name?
It's, oh boy. My name is Gage 311.
How do you spell engage? Like N?
It's like the Nokia N
I was going to
Gage.
say, yeah.
It's an N dash Gage, like the son from Pet Cemetery. And then the band 311.
Oh man.
Is it 3-11 or 311?
No, just 311, pal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's how many miles per hour this cowboy's going every day in his
311.
mind. Yeah, 311.
Exactly.
All right. So, having fixed Wakka's bike and having Wakka having settled down to a nice distracting activity, it's time to talk business. So,
I was say when they started fixing the bike, I just threw my hands up and I left. And 35 minutes later, I come back for this moment.
sure, you walk back in, and you're handed a drink by Dibs, but it's like badly shaken and like half upside down.
Super.
You're handed an empty, upside down, dripping cup.
Yeah. And I pretend to drink it and then set it down so I don't have to deal with this robot giving me another one. I'm like, that's enough, thank you. And then I turn and I
He's
sit
humoring me.
barely. And then I lean into the light as I take a seat, and the chair is subtly higher than all the other chairs in the room, so it looks vaguely like a throne. Like I'm just playing as much as I can for power. And I'm like, all right, so Wakka's busy, probably a net gain, but Vic, Nix, Shatterstar, Gage311, I overheard that through the comms. we've collected the hackers, and we need to move forward. You're just going to be a part of this gang, okay? I don't know if you get a share yet. We're going to deal with that.
What?
Do you want to be a part of my gang?
Oh, you got a gang? And
Yeah.
Oh, and you're a little leader,
I
are
am
ya?
the leader. I am. I'm the
Oh, good
fearless
for
leader of
you.
the gang.
Yeah, he does think he is.
I mean, I just joined, but baby, I'm the leader, Sterling says.
I think there's one thing everyone else could agree on, Sterling, and that is no.
I second this motion.
Well, and he just goes and gets one of the bottles and just goes and sits in a corner.
Perfect. So, we've collected hackers from, it feels, do you know what? We're just going to let this go. Like, Brash can't get over the fact that he found a droid that was stoned in space, and now it's part of the plan, but fuck it, it's a net gain, I guess. So, we can talk to the hackers and figure out what we need to get to make our move on Agrippa and find out if Wakka's daughter, that's the hand up so Wakka can't hear it, or maybe your family, we could just solve these different problems. Also, I'd like to not be murdered by my siblings. So, do we talk to the hackers? Do we go somewhere else? Does anyone have any ideas?
We should definitely talk to the hackers. I mean, we brought them on board. We rescued them. They owe us. It's a perfect position to be in.
Wonderful. And then I just reach over to the bar and I'll just take 2 bottles of booze and then just be like, let's go make some friends, and then walk out.
And Gage, are you just cool, like, going along for the ride? I guess you don't really have many other options since this is the only ship.
I'll stick around for just a bit, see what's up. Hey, they let me in, and that's pretty cool.
All right. So all of you, we'll just leave this to PCs because the crew is getting too large to have all of them go scene to scene.
Are there too many people?
There's a lot of non-player characters that are just like on the ship now.
It's just all Tom.
Tom doesn't need to play 4 other people in each of our scenes.
Yeah, so they're around. You can talk to them, but you don't need them right now. So all of you make your way to the cargo hold, except for Wakka, who I think is still painting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I asked Shake for maybe like a sugar cookie or something, just because I'm losing a lot of blood, and I need, when you give blood and they give you a little cookie afterwards, like, look, do you have maybe like some orange juice or something, or like some kind of
Hands you
sugary
some
fruit?
like cocktail celery,
Oh, okay, all right, this will work. And I start
like a
eating.
stick of bacon. He's
Yeah.
like, "This is all I got.
Oh.
I am sorry."
Oh, I guess I should stop the bleeding. So I take my vibro knife and I kind of like cauterize the wound. And I'm like, no.
You vibrate the wound shut.
Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works.
Oh, does it heat it?
He
or?
knifes a wound shut.
Yeah, I kind of.
Here's the thing. A vibro knife vibrates.
I thought it was like a.
No, it's like a turkey cutter that you can stab people
It's not a
with.
lightsaber.
Yeah, it's not a pleasure wand.
So you,
Is there like a stove in your suite? It's a kitchen,
it was the
right?
mess hall. So yeah, I
Sure,
guess so.
yeah.
Okay, so I turn on a stove and I just kind of like put my arm on
Burn
it to
your
like
arm with it?
cauterize
Oh my
it.
God.
Yeah. Shake is like metal.
Yeah. Why not just yell at your wound until it closes?
So how often has that one been, fiddling with his arm or, opening up his mortal body?
That's a first, I think.
Yeah, usually he opens up the mortal bodies of others and then wears them as armor.
Yeah,
or
he is a
something.
murderer.
Oh, well,
Very casual.
well, you take the good with the bad.
That's how we've been doing it, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really have options.
You arrive in the cargo hold, and as you walk in, you see sort of like the 3 of the main hackers crouched over sort of like the equivalent of a laptop, and there's a tall Bothan, so think like sort of a furry kind of humanoid looking fella. Who's clearly the leader. There's a sort of grizzled human with who's bald with like a big white beard who's standing nearby. Looks a little bit like Fashion Santa. And there's a real like stout, kind of scarred up looking Ewok looking at the monitor. And he's like, yum yum yitcha. And the Boston's like, yeah, who are these bowling people? And Vic, as you sort of saunter in and get a closer view, you can see your parents bowling, and behind them just like a line of blue-eyed thugs with rifles.
Oh, it must be bowling night. Well, who's watching this? Like, why is this on the vid screen?
And the leader, the Bothan, Liscar DeLorean, turns around and he's like, "Oh, the handsome one said he wanted some eyes on on Agrippa's base.
I don't recall saying that.
Sorry, the other handsome one who smells real good."
Oh.
And I bring out the bottles of booze and I say, just a sign of our appreciation for your hard work thus far. And I just hand them over.
Well, okie dokie. Bit early for me. And he starts chugging booze.
So this is Agrippa's place.
Yeah. We the handsome guy said he wanted to see if there was a kid. There's no kid, but there's definitely these two. Look at these two rich folks. Oh,
Yeah.
they're definitely going to get shot.
Oh man, that's the problem. They must have gotten kidnapped between now and when I last talked to them.
I don't know. We've been going back through the logs. They've been here a long time.
Oh boy. And this is not my parents' place. This is Agrippa's.
Yeah, I don't know who your parents are. These your parents?
These are my parents.
Brash is like snidely holding in giggles, just like sitting in the back, just a little quiet, just watching this play out to see if he figures it out.
The Ewok is like very alarmingly sitting there like,
I'm either really going to like him or he's going to be a problem.
And so Vic, sort of with a look of horror on your face, you watch as your mom just completely beefs an easy strike.
Oh my God, it's like she doesn't even own a bowling alley. She's at Agrippa's, and Agrippa has a bowling alley, and Agrippa never shared this with me. This is just the disrespect that I'm feeling right now. I must have vengeance.
Hey, man, get Agrippa.
Hey, you know what? That kind of levity just kind of puts it all in perspective. My parents are in grave danger.
This episode of Dumb, Scum, and Villainy features the voices of Ryan LaPlante at the Ryan LaPlante on Twitter, Tyler Hewitt at Tyler_Hewitt on Twitter, Adam McNamara at Adam McNamara 13 on Twitter, Guy Bradford at Guy Bradford on Twitter, and our fantastic Game Master Tom McGee at McGeeTD on Twitter. This episode was edited by Ryan LaPlante, and all of Dum Dums and Dice's art is by Decapitated Markers at Decapitated Marker on Twitter. That's MRKR. Our theme song is In Orbit by Chronox, and our ad music is No Control and Chiefs by Jazzar, JAHZZAR, all available at freemusicarchive.org. When it comes to Dum Dums and Dice, you can visit our website at dumdumdice.com. Our Twitter and Instagram are at dumdumdice, and on Facebook at facebook.com/dumdumdice. But most importantly, we've got merchandise at redbubble.com/people/dumdumdice, or you can join our Patreon at patreon.com/dumdumdice. That's DUMBDICE. Now get out of my shop. I'm a Toydarian. Your Jedi mind tricks do not work on me.
Dum Dums and Dice has to give a special thank you to the supreme beings of our Patreon at this time: Christian Menicola, Long, the Half-Blind Prophet, James Cuellar, DM Rob, Christopher Little, Joshua White, Olin Anderson, and Jill and Noel LaPlante. If you want your name to be added to this list, you can join our Patreon too at patreon.com/dumdumdice. Thanks to them, and a little bit of thanks to you.